Today I am filming with the amazing Lisa J. If you are not familiar with Lisa, I am going to link everything down below. I'm sure that you are. She is an Austin-based creator who is the founder and the creator of BK Beauty brushes, which are my personal favorite brushes. I am so excited to be here. We are on a creator trip, and today I am going to be rating her skincare routine. So we've been talking skincare this whole time, and I'm really excited to get into this and kind of dissect everything that she's doing. And yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about some skincare.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with cleansing. What do you do in the morning? What do you cleanse? Or at night, how do you cleanse your skin?
So I am not actually really loyal to any cleanser, but I will say that I have different cleansers for morning and night, right? Because at night I'm removing a bunch of makeup. In the morning, I don't have any products on, right?
Yeah.
So in the morning, I always like to use some products that are jumping out to me. I think that are on my counter right now are the La Roche-Posay Gentle Cream Cleanser, I think it is. It's like a lotion-y cleanser, but it's creamy. But those are typically the type of products I look for. Something, I don't feel like that would remove a full face of makeup, but I do feel like that's a good morning cleanser to just remove whatever I had on the night before in terms of skincare products, but be very gentle and hydrating.
What do you feel like, what is your skin type? Do you feel like you're normal? Do you feel like you get oily during the day? Are you dry?
My skin has changed a lot over the years. I'm 41, and I think I've noticed the biggest changes in my skin over the last 3 years than I ever did in the prior 10 years. I would say I'm dry. I mean, I'm not flaky dry, but I definitely feel, my skin feels tight. I used to be combo and get oily. I don't really, but I also live in Texas.
Right.
So in the summers when it's 115 degrees, I might say I'm oily, but is that just...
No, that's probably just the environment that you're in. Yeah,
okay.
Definitely. And I think that cream cleansers are the way to go. I think that that's really nice as we get older because we're not stripping the skin. As we get older, we're losing some of that natural hyaluronic acid in our skin. We typically start to dehydrate a little bit more, which can be confused with dryness. And so just not really respecting the barrier and not stripping away the good stuff is a good thing. So you're doing a wonderful job. People don't even always have to wash in the morning if they don't want to.
Good to know.
I prefer to wash in the morning too.
Okay.
I feel like it's nice to wash away just the stuff from overnight, the product, and start fresh, but you don't have to.
Okay, good to know. And at night, what I usually do is I will use like I guess I do a double cleanse. I'll use like a balm or a melting makeup product, and I will just get all that makeup off because I wear a lot of makeup, and I'll get off as much as I can. Then I'll go in with the cleanser, and I will use maybe the same cleanser, or I'll use something that's like a foaming oil cleanser. I found those because I like the foaminess.
Yeah.
But I used to use gel cleansers that foamed, and I feel like those are too strong, stripping for my skin. So I'll use a foaming oil cleanser. And again, I just buy a drugstore.
You know, price point on cleansers, they don't have to be expensive.
Okay.
They really don't have to be expensive. When you find one that works well for you, that's great.
Good.
Whatever the price point.
Okay, good. Because I do splurge on my other products. So it's nice to have a little bit of balance.
It's great to find the places where you can save so that you can splurge where you want to.
Okay. So after I cleanse at night, I will go in with my favorite products. I hope you don't roast this one. This is my favorite product. I love this product. I always tell people if there is one skincare product that I feel like makes a difference I kind of noticed it pretty quickly or immediately is this product right here. This is the Biologique Recherche Lotion P50 1970. I've been using this maybe 2 or maybe 3 years. This was recommended to me by my esthetician. I had never heard of the brand, but she carries it in Austin. And what I'll do is I'll put this on a little cotton swab and I will press it into the skin. And I just love this product.
What have you noticed with your skin? What changes have you noticed?
I think the first thing that I noticed when I first started this was how glowy my skin looked. I mean, it just looked like I was walking around with a light shining on my face at all times, and I just moisturized, but my skin would be dry, but it would be just that beautiful glow. I also noticed when I'm very consistent in using this, which I pretty much always am. There's been times where I ran out and it was a couple months before I bought it again or whatever, but when I'm using this consistently, I feel like the texture in my skin is less noticeable. I feel like my pores aren't as noticeable. So yeah, I think those are probably the two.
Okay, so this is an absolutely beautiful product. It is really a good product. It has a cult following for a good reason. So this is lactic acid based, and it also has phenol. Phenol is probably what you smell when you use this. Phenol is actually an exfoliant in itself. And then of course, lactic acid is an exfoliant, but lactic acid is perfect for people with skin like you because it's a large molecule that kind of sits on the top of our skin and it hydrates the skin while it helps to kind of break up dead keratin so that it can be exfoliated off. So that is why you're seeing the textural changes with the lactic acid, but you're also seeing that glow because it's hydrating your tissue. And that helps with textural changes too. People try to exfoliate their skin to improve the texture. Sometimes it's hydration because that hydration just gives you that glow and improves the surface texture anyway. Totally, that is like, I use this as well.
It's so good. You do?
Seriously, I have some in the bathroom there on this trip. So this is big time PENN approved. This is one of those things that, I mean, I think it's up there with retinoids.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I think the results that people see with alpha hydroxy acids and this particular product are on par with a lot of retinoid.
I tried to use tretinoin in the past because I know everyone says that's the gold standard and the ingredient everyone should be using. I have really dry eyes and I would avoid the eye area. I wouldn't put it near here. I'd stopped here, but I still would wake up the next morning and my eyes were bloodshot and they hurt. And then a viewer pointed out to me like, oh, you should stop using that, my dermatologist. And I was like, oh, okay. So
right. So actually dry eye is one of the unfortunate potential side effects that are basically a contraindication. If that happens to you, I agree with your subscriber that said that to you. And the thing is, you know, our circulation here, even if you stop at your ocular bone, it carries it, you know, and so it's gonna happen anyway. So you're smart to listen to your, in this case, eyes, and it's just not worth it. What you could do if you wanted to is you could go to something like bakuchiol, which is touted as a natural source. It's a plant-based vitamin A. It isn't, but what it does is it acts on the same receptors that retinoids act on. And so it may give us a version of results that are like vitamin A's without the dry eye, without some of those side effects.
This next product I use morning and night. So this is my step after the P50 at night or after cleansing in the morning. It's the La Mer Treatment Lotion.
Yes.
And I know this is a splurge, but I love it.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is an essence. It kind of reminds me of an essence. It's like a very liquidy, lightweight product. I just put a little bit in my hand and I just pat it onto the skin. It makes my skin feel hydrated. Obviously, I still go in with a moisturizer. It's not enough, but I really feel like it helps my skin feel hydrated. It also, I feel like, helps with brightness to the skin. I really enjoy this product.
Okay, so what's crazy here is that La Mer gets pretty bad rap. I mean, especially amongst estheticians, because typically with the actual cream, there's like kind of an air of it's overpriced, and it might be. This particular product, I would argue, is probably worth the splurge.
Okay.
It has a bunch of really great humectants in it. Number one, it has sodium hyaluronic. So it has hyaluronic acid in there, but it also has urea, and urea is one of my all-time favorite humectants. Small molecule, it's able to penetrate the skin really well, but it also hangs out in the tissue longer. So not only does it hydrate your skin really well, it sticks around and hydrates your skin longer. This also has algae. Algae is really, it's great for the skin. It's gonna be great for brightening, and it's great for moisturizing the skin, hydrating the skin. And then it has some other humectants in there as well, and fermented ingredients that are gonna help with brightening. So honestly, it's packed with a bunch of good stuff.
Okay, it's not just the name I'm paying for.
It's not just the name. I really actually think, now that's not to say, I will say, you could find something like this that you might like as much. Korean skincare, I mean, there are essences, but if you found something that you really love, it probably takes you a little while to get through that.
I was just about to say, one of these bottles will last me maybe 4 months or so. And what I get on my hand, I put on my face, I put on my neck, and I'll even put on the back of my hands.
Right. No, I think that sometimes when you find something that really delivers results and it lasts you that long, to me, that's the check for worth the splurge.
Yeah. So the next product that I use, and I use this morning and night, is the Clear 6 Serum by Empowered Skincare. So you probably haven't heard of this brand, have you? Or you just recently did, because I just told you about it this morning. But this is a product that one of my dear friends created. And I've been using it for about a month now. So she developed the serum. It's really lightweight. It is an anti-aging serum, but it's also supposed to help with acne. And I didn't start using it initially because I don't really struggle with acne, right? But I did give this to a friend who struggles with acne, adult acne, pretty severely, and he has flare-ups that kind of come up and they can get really out of control. And I gave it to him to try, and he was a little nervous because he's like, I don't want to try anything new that's gonna make this worse, you know? But he started using it and he really liked it. He said it was really gentle, it didn't, you know, irritate his skin. So when I was talking to my friend about it and telling her that story, and she informed me, she's like, this is also great for anti-aging. So I started to incorporate it into my skincare routine, and I love this. This is really gentle. I love the scent of it. I don't know how to describe this scent, but it smells very kind of like, how would you describe that?
I mean, honestly, it smells like the best parts of a earthy. It does have like an earthy herbal.
Yeah.
An herbal spot. It's not, but in a really gentle way. Yeah, it's not overpowering or knocking the face.
Yeah, so I'll use a little bit of this after the La Mer, and then I'll go in with the rest of my products.
And are you just pressing it into the skin kind of thing? Okay, so let me have a look here. First of all, I think it's super interesting and beautiful. I mean, how exciting for your friend to have created this. What I thought was super interesting in here is the incorporation of hypochlorous acid. So have you heard of hypochlorous acid? Okay, so funny story, during COVID or prior to COVID, when I worked in clinic, we actually used hypochlorous acid as a non-bleach antibacterial cleanser for the clinic. It is antimicrobial, it is antibacterial, and it will really clear like viruses and stuff like that. You can make it in a kettle from water, salt, and a few ingredients, and you can create hypochlorous acid. Well, in really diluted forms, it's great for acne because it creates this environment on the skin that is antimicrobial, not a good environment for acne. It's really, really interesting. I've never seen it in a serum, never. I've seen it, we've all seen it in sprays. You might be familiar with Prequel has a hypochlorous acid, Tower 28 has one. There are several on the market now, Hydrinity, because it is such an amazing mist that is great for acne. The other thing about this is this has your bakuchiol. So we were just talking about your, so this is so fantastic because you are getting, bakuchiol is actually an antioxidant, but it does work on those receptors like your vitamin A's. I mean, it's like vitamin A. And so this is really great for anti-aging.
Oh, good.
I think she knocked it out of the park. I'm super excited. I'm gonna get one of these before I go home.
I'm excited about this, and the story behind her product is really interesting. So she's like, I struggled with acne, adult acne, you know, forever. And I worked in the dermatologist's office, and her biggest passion was helping people that struggle with that. And you know, I've never had an issue with acne, but she's like, it was to the point where I had patients that would come in that were like, I just want to put a bag over my head and walk around. She's like, and so she's really passionate about acne and anti-aging. So
well, it's interesting because as an esthetician who has worked with people, it's one of those things things can become your passion project. Your skin is a reflection of you. And so that's just really cool.
Well, yeah, and she was saying that acne can be such a tricky thing to treat because there could be so many different causes.
For sure.
Right?
It is such a complex issue. And of course, it's more than just the topical. It has to do with your gut, but it has to do with the version of acne that you have, what will exacerbate it, what's going to help it. And so I think that that's really neat that she tried to incorporate or not incorporate the things that might trigger any kind of acne. So really, really great.
I'm excited for you to start trying it.
Yeah, I am excited too.
So next I'll go in with this Osea Hyaluronic C Serum. I guess it's like a hyaluronic acid.
Okay.
This was a recommendation from my esthetician recently. This is my first bottle. I'm about halfway through with it. I'm unsure how I feel about this. The texture is a little kind of slimy. Okay. Not bad, but just different, right? I love this brand. But this will kind of make my eyes burn a little bit. But it's very hydrating. I don't think it's a product I'll repurchase.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but tell me what you think in terms of ingredients and...
So, can I look at I'm gonna look at the texture really quick. What I'm thinking, because this is, glycerin is at near the top of the ingredient. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. So funny enough, this would make a really good, except for the burning eyes. We don't really want burning eyes, but this would make a good conductivity gel for like a zip or something, because the zip, their conductivity gels are really heavily glycerin based, and this is glycerin.
Okay,
that
so
is what you're feeling.
For that. Okay.
Yeah, you can use that except for the burning eyes.
Yeah. I mean, it's very mild, you know, and I do have sensitive eyes, but I was thinking it might be related to like some essential oil or something, because it smells like a spa.
If you didn't tell me that it was burning your eyes, I would say, hey, that's a good one. It really does feel really nice. Glycerin is nice too because it is a really innocuous ingredient that typically most people can tolerate, and it does such a good job of kind of hydrating the tissue but not causing any irritation. Okay. So I would say this is good, but I would agree with you. If you have anything like that, there are too many options for us to have any kind of burning eyes or anything.
Okay. And I think I like the way this makes my skin feel. I think it might just be the texture, because it's a unique texture. Yes. Right?
Now, something else I would tell you is that for anyone else, if you ever experience the burning eyes past the point of you could return it or something like that, I would say, well, don't use it on your face anymore. If you actually like the product, start using it on your hands. You don't have to waste it, but maybe don't use it on your face anymore so you don't expose your eyes, but you still get the benefit of the product. Maybe use it on your décolleté or your neck.
That's a great idea. Okay, so finally we're at moisturizer.
Okay.
So in the morning, I've been using this as my day cream. This is help me say this because I'm gonna say it wrong.
So this is Augustinus Bader.
Augustinus Bader. Augustinus Bader. the cream. And this was another influence from my esthetician. I bought the Rich Cream originally and I liked that, but I wanted something a little lighter for daytime. I do love this product, but it is pricey.
Yes.
And I feel like I go through it very quickly.
Okay.
Too quickly is how I feel. So I'm really looking for an alternative. You'll give me feedback on this, but I did just buy this at Sephora last night and it was recommended, and you said this is good too.
Yes, and we will talk about that too.
So I bought the Dew.
Yes,
right?
Dew. Yes.
Dew Instant Angel Lipid Repair Facial Moisturizer.
Yeah,
I haven't used it yet. I just felt the texture at Sephora. It felt really nice. I do love this, but I can't spend this every 6 weeks.
Oh, you're going through it that fast?
I feel like I'm going through it every 6 weeks.
So let's set the price aside to start with the Augustinus Butter so that we can let's just dissect the ingredient deck and see, because I feel like everybody has their own budget. And so if you love something and it's in your budget, but it's understandable to want to find something. We only want to spend what we should be spending.
Yes.
We want to know if there's value in something. It has some great humectants in there. It has some antioxidants. It has some ceramides. It has a bunch of good stuff. I would say though, just from looking at a lot of different skincare, it's great that you like it, but I probably would say it's overpriced because I think you probably could find something that is similar. Now, I know that in their line, they have a proprietary ingredient that is only for Augustinus Butter that is supposed to help with pro-aging, anti-aging kind of thing. And so if you want to buy into that, that would be why you're paying for his name and for his proprietary ingredient. But I would say that everything else in there is pretty run-of-the-mill, and you could probably find it in something better. But again, I would say that if it's something that you love, that you are getting results from, and you're okay spending that money, that's up to you. But I do think you could find something as good at a better price point.
Yeah, I think it's all about balance. It's like,
it is.
You know, I do love the La Mer. That's pricey. I don't want everything in my skincare routine to be, you know, really expensive. I'd like to find where I can, so I do love this, but I have been open to trying other options.
And I will tell you that on my channel, I personally, and this could be an unpopular opinion, I don't buy into if it's expensive, it's better. I don't buy into medical grade.
Totally.
I don't buy into any of that stuff. I buy into how does it work for my skin and what are the ingredients, what's the formulation, that kind of thing. Because I believe, and I've said this on my channel so many times, you do not have to be wealthy to have good skin.
Totally. Okay, so talk to me about this because I'm really excited to use this.
Okay, so I've actually gone through a tube of this before, and when you picked this up, I think you got the last box at Sephora.
I did.
And so I'm like, oh, I need to get that again. So to me, this is a great swap for the Augustinus Butter. It doesn't have, obviously, that proprietary ingredient. So this is going to be an amazing humectant / moisturizer. It has glycerin in it, another, glycerin, but it also has squalane, and squalane is a fantastic emollient, humectant, softening, gorgeous ingredient. But then this also has a bunch of other things that are going to help with your barrier function. So I think that I think this is a perfect swap. And if I'm not mistaken, it's probably like 1/3 of the price.
Yes.
And I bet you won't go through it as fast. So I do think that this is a great, and it's just a good trial. Try and see what you think. Honestly, what you can do is kind of really think about what you liked about your skin with that. And then when you try this, if you get that same feeling, there you go.
Yeah.
Your skin will tell the story for you.
Love that. Okay, well, I'm excited to try this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have my night cream here because I'm kind of in between purchasing a new one. I've been testing a Biologique Resurge one, and I forget the name of it, but I talked to you about it. You could wear it as a mask.
I think it's the mask Vernix. Yes, which I do love.
You love, okay.
It is so good, yes.
So that's an option. And then going back to the Augustinus Butter.
Augustinus Butter.
I don't know why I get
a hard one.
I know.
It's like stuck in the mouth.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I get samples of things that but here I am complaining that I want to find something more affordable, yet I'm still sampling these products. But they have one in a jar, the soothing something, and that one was divine. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. And I also have this Osea, so basically, I think long story short is I love a cream in a jar.
Okay.
I love a rich, heavy cream at night.
Yeah.
I want to feel like my skin is just like dripping in hydration.
Yeah.
And I've been testing that one and I've been enjoying that one.
Okay, so for the Augustinus Butter, I would say, first of all, I think it's a beautiful product. I really do. It is expensive. And something that I always look for when I'm looking at something that is going to hydrate and moisturize my skin. To me, those things don't have to be expensive, right? So when you're gonna pay a lot of money for a comforting night cream or something like that, it should have some additional benefits, some antioxidants, maybe some anti-aging. I'm trying to get away from that word, but you know what I mean. Some things that are gonna be sort of active in a way that's also gonna pamper your skin, but create some change. I mean, that's what we want when we're paying a lot of money. When I look at the Augustinus Bader, I like to look for something I call a marker ingredient. And the one that you can look for is called phenoxyethanol. It is a preservative that you're gonna see in a bunch of your skincare. And basically in the United States, that ingredient can be at 1% in a formulation. Everything beyond it is gonna be 1% or less. When I look at the Bader, I see that a lot of the really impactful ingredients fall below the phenoxyethanol. So then I start thinking, well, what you're getting is a really nice moisturizer with a small amount of actives. You just have to decide, is that what I want? Do I see change? You're testing it out, you might wanna just assess your skin. Then when I look at the Osea, it looks beautiful. It again doesn't have their proprietary ingredient, so you have to decide if that's worth it to you. But you get about 4 jars of it for the cost of the Augustinus Bader.
That's a lot.
So that's a lot.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you kind of start to weigh out your skincare that way. I do think though that sometimes with our skincare, it depends on our budget and we can splurge and save. We can save over here and not spend the money on the cleansers because we really love this particular, you know, moisturizer or active. And so that's obviously something, but I do think that in your Osea, you have a really great product.
Okay, sold. That's it then. And I have a jar of that that I just bought a month ago. So
Exactly.
Okay, good. I'm excited. Okay, and then the last skincare product that I have to share with you is one that I'm not giving up. I don't care what you tell me about it. It's my favorite SPF. It's the Elastin Hydratint Pro Mineral Sunscreen. SPF 36, which isn't a 50, but what I love about this product, this looks beautiful on its own. It's got a tint to it, so I'll put this on my skin. And it's not full coverage by any means, but it definitely evens the skin out and looks like a sheer foundation by itself. But it also looks beautiful under every single foundation that I've ever paired it with.
Yeah.
Cream, liquid, powder. It just looks and plays beautifully under everything. I love this. And what I also love about this, which I find really unique, is you know when you have a product and you get to the end and you feel like there's a lot that goes to waste because you just can't get it out or you have to open it and scrape it out? This packaging is like a vacuum. Like you think that this is almost done. I will probably get another month out of this. It's wild. So I love it. Okay, so when I was in clinic, and still to this day, that clinic carries Elastin, and it is a fantastic, science-forward brand. So I too love this product. However, I have a little caveat. How many pumps do you use of this? I use about 1.5 pumps.
And is this your dedicated sunscreen? This is your sunscreen?
It is.
Okay, so something that's important is that it's an SPF 36, which I think is fine. I actually think, I know that we get into the 30 and the 50, and I think often what it's really about is reapplication, and you're probably not reapplying this. So there is a little bit of that, but also in order for you to get the number on whatever product it is, you need to use the amount that is correlated with that number, which typically is about 1/4 teaspoon. So 1/4 teaspoon is, I'm gonna guess, like 7 or 8 pumps.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
so
definitely.
I will do a test, not with your precious Elastin, but we'll do a test and see. I have this at home because I also love it. I might just waste mine just to see how many pumps it took, and I'll let you know. But it's a lot of pumps. And so nobody would ever wear that much. So the reality is you're probably getting, I'm gonna be generous, you're probably getting like an SPF of 10. And so you can keep this in your, I will not rip that from your hands. I won't. But what I would suggest is a really nice lightweight SPF. And I know we talked and you're like, I just don't want to slather myself. There are some really amazing Korean sunscreens or Japanese sunscreens in particular. I find that they do it really well, that are light as air, create this beautiful veil, and you don't feel like you put on this heavy extra layer, and then you can go on with that and use that almost like your foundation and a little extra protection. Because I agree, it's gorgeous. It is such a beautiful product.
It really is.
And you're right about the packaging. When I was in clinic, they actually presented that to us. It like sucks it out. So you get every little last bit, which is really nice when you're paying for it, but it lasts forever too. It's another one.
And they haven't raised the price on this. I feel like when I started using this, it was around $62. It's $75 now.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes. A viewer pointed out to me, they were like, that's $75 now. Like they jumped $10 in the course of like a year and a half maybe or something.
Wow, that's That's crazy. So, but you get a long time out of that, right?
I do get a long time out of this.
Because you're not using enough.
Exactly. I feel like I maybe get through 2.5 of these a year.
Right. And you love it.
I love it.
So, I mean, I think that that's another one, but I would use that as an augmenting SPF versus your dedicated.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're so welcome. I mean, honestly, you have gorgeous skin. So you're clearly doing something very, very right.
One last thing. Lots of water.
Yes. You know what's really funny? Here's the funny thing about water. The science shows that drinking water doesn't necessarily hydrate our skin like we think about with, like we think about with our skincare. However, if you've ever been dehydrated, like my hands are crazy dehydrated right now, drink some water and all of a sudden you see your hands go back.
Yeah.
So it may not give us extra hydration, but it certainly helps us from being dehydrated.
Yes.
And we can tell with our biggest organ what's going on. If it's happening here, it's happening inside too. So drink your water. Okay, well this was so much fun. I love doing that. I could talk skincare all day long.
I love it.
I think something that everybody could take away from this is really trying to find the products that serve us and listen to our skin and learning how to splurge and save, or save across the board, but listen to your skin. There are good products at all price points, and whatever actually gets your skin the results, the products that you should be using. Yeah, and I really appreciate you having me here today. I appreciate you having me here in Austin. Love it. Gonna come back.
Thank you for coming. This has been so fun.
So fun.
So good. We should do this every year.
We should do this every year. All right, guys, thank you. I'm going to link everything down below. Of course, I am going to link Lisa's channel. If by chance you are not following her, I'm going to link all of her socials because makeup artist extraordinaire over here, skincare over here, makeup over here.
We're a good combo.
We're a good pair
We
here.
got you covered.
But I am going to link her everywhere you can find her because she's lovely.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, take care.
Bye.